Welcome to the video on Landlord Initial Lease-Up Information from the Corpus Christi Housing Authority. The Housing Choice Voucher Program, HCVP, also known as Section 8, is the federal government's major program for assisting very low-income families, the elderly, and the disabled to rent decent, safe, and affordable housing in the private market. Funding for the Housing Choice Voucher Program is provided to local public housing agencies through the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. Housing assistance is provided on behalf of the family or individual and allows you to find housing, single-family homes, townhouses, mobile homes, and apartments that fits your needs. By enrolling in the HCVP, if you qualify, you will receive a voucher that allows for a portion of your rent to be paid directly to your landlord. The HCVP is an income-based program. However, there are other factors that come into play, such as criminal history, rental history, and citizenship/residency status that are determining factors for qualifying for the program. The Corpus Christi Housing Authority is a paperless agency, and all new and existing families must use online electronic platform apply.hacc.org for applying for benefits and also to update their information. Landlords are also required to use our Landlord portal, which will allow them to register as a new landlord, update their information, check on payments, and also view inspection results. Rent Cafe is the electronic platform that is used to process all HCVP actions. An overall review and training on our electronic platform will be provided to all applicants and landlords on how to use our electronic platform. The Corpus Christi Housing Authority takes program fraud and abuse seriously. If you suspect that fraud is being committed by someone on the program, you can contact the Office of the Inspector General at 1-800-347-3735 or HUDOIG.gov to report fraud, or the Corpus Christi Housing Authority at 361-889-3300. Now that you understand the legal protection offered to renters under the Corpus Christi Housing Authority, HCVP, and HUD, let's review your responsibilities during the initial lease-up process if the potential tenant has a housing choice voucher. Your potential tenants often represent the diversity of your local community. They may be individuals, families, people with disabilities, and/or senior citizens. So that these diverse potential tenants may find your available units, you're encouraged to list your units on affordablehousing.com. This is a free and easy-to-use service. You can learn more about listing your units on hacc.org. It's important to understand that voucher holders must search the private housing market using tools like affordablehousing.com to locate an affordable unit. The Public Housing Authority, or PHA, doesn't find the unit for them or assign them to a unit. There are a variety of reasons why landlords and property owners like you participate in the HCV program. These reasons include, but are not limited to, you helping your community, receiving market rate rent for the unit, receiving a free home inspection for unit safety, and receiving a consistent and guaranteed rental payment from the PHA at the beginning of each month. In addition to your screening process, the PHA also conducts criminal background screening of Housing Choice Voucher participants. You reserve all landlord rights, such as establishing a screening process for your potential tenants, executing a lease, and collecting rent from your tenants. Neither CCHA nor any other PHA will select tenants for your available units or manage their lease. Once a potential tenant with a voucher finds your listing and contacts you, they will likely ask if you accept vouchers. Also, it's a good idea for you to let all potential tenants know the screening criteria you will use, regardless of whether or not they ask if you will accept their voucher. Keep in mind, you are not required to accept every potential tenant who will pay with a voucher or other lawful source of income. However, you are required by the CCHA to screen potential tenants with a voucher like other potential tenants who don't have a voucher. This includes, but not limited to, looking at credit and rental history, sufficiency of funds, and adhering to a background check. Consistent screening of all potential tenants is critical. After you've processed the potential tenant's application and determined they meet all your screening criteria, you will let them know you agree to rent the unit to them and accept their voucher. At that point, the CCHA will send you the RFTA via DocuSign to complete. You must complete your portion and then, along with the potential tenant, sign the document. The completed and signed RFTA will be returned to the PHA via DocuSign along with a copy of the lease, proof of ownership, W-9, proof of a Social Security number, SSN, or Employer Identification Number, or EIN, a picture ID of the property owner, and direct deposit information. If you are concerned about confidentiality of these documents, the CCHA receives all documents via DocuSign. This ensures protection and confidentiality of your documents. Next, the PHA has 15 calendar days to process the RFTA. If it's approved, the inspection will be scheduled. We'll talk more about the inspection shortly. During this time, they are verifying your ownership of the property, your bank and tax ID information, and that your lease complies with HUD regulations. The PHA will also verify and/or negotiate the contract rent amount to ensure it is affordable for the family. To do this, they conduct a rent reasonable survey of surrounding and similar properties. While the potential tenant has rights and protections under the Texas Fair Housing Law, you do too. Therefore, it's very important to know if the PHA does not process the RFTA within 15 calendar days, you are legally allowed to opt out of renting to the prospective tenant. Once the PHA determines the rent is reasonable, they will contact you to schedule a HUD Housing Quality Standards or HQS inspection. The lease-up process between you and the potential tenant cannot begin until the unit passes inspection. If the unit doesn't pass the HQS inspection, the PHA will advise you what items failed. You will have the opportunity to complete repairs and schedule a re-inspection. You are only entitled to one re-inspection. The family may move into the unit after the inspection passes, although HUD allows a family to move in any day within 30 calendar days of past inspection. The CCHA's policy requires families to move in on the first of the month. By now, the PHA will have completed the rent calculation process. This determines the amount of the Housing Assistance Payment, or HAP, from the voucher and what the tenant's share of the rent will be. You must sign the HAP within 60 calendar days and return it to the PHA. Once the unit passes inspection, you may now consider the potential tenant as your official tenant and complete the lease signing with them. With the lease complete, your tenant is now able to begin residence in their new home. If your tenant has a voucher from CCHA, you may use our HCV Landlord portal to access information about your units currently under contract with voucher rental assistance. If your tenant's voucher is from another PHA, they may have their own system for providing information, or you may contact them to receive your HAP information. If you'd like to learn about recommended best practices during the initial lease-up period, be sure to watch our other videos, the Housing Choice Voucher Program Initial Lease-Up video series. To review information about CCHA, you can go on their website at hacc.org. You can find general information about the HCV program at HUD's website, hud.gov. To learn more about CCHA and the HCV program, call 361-889-3300 or visit their website at hacc.org. Thank you for watching the video on Landlord Initial Lease-Up Information. To watch the HCVP Initial Lease-Up video series, visit hacc.org.